Hi, it's Jake here at Canadian Cutting Edge, and today I have a unique Ganzo to take a look at. This is the G725M. I don't know why they put an M on it, for medium. Are they going to make a bigger one? Are they going to make a smaller one? I don't know. It's the only, traditional kind of slip joint knife that I know of that they have. They've got some, gimmick kind of ones. I'll show it to you. Hold on. Don't move. Don't move. Stay right there. I just remembered, that's why I had to go get it, that they've got this little slip joint, shaped like a shotgun shell. Just a little gimmicky kind of knife. I'm not going to do a full review on this thing. I don't even remember where I got this. So yeah, they do have other slip joints, obviously, but this is the first older traditional style. This is in the Stockman style, the 3 blades. You've got your clip point, you've got your sheep's foot, Warncliffe, whichever you want to call it. In these older styles, normally called the sheep's foot, and strong spring on the spay. There is the spay. Some websites call this a tanto. Not sure why. It would be a reverse tanto to start with, but it's a spay, S-P-E-Y. So these 3 blades together make up what is normally called, a Stockman style folder knife. And that's what Ganzo decided to make. I'm including this on a wee Wednesday, January the 11th. And if you're interested at all in this little knife, stick around and we'll do a full tabletop review on this thing. Let's start off with a bit of a size comparison. This is the Ganzo G704. It's a standard 3-inch kind of style, a little over 3-inch knife by Ganzo, and it's quite a bit smaller than that, isn't it? It's quite a bit bigger than, let's see, the Victorinox Classic. There's a tiny little knife if you want a small knife. Sanrenmu 7010 is a very common knife that a lot of people have. It's just a little bit smaller than a 7010. So that tells you a little bit about the size if you wanted to compare it. And let's take a good look at this knife before we start talking about its individual components. First off, it's got German steel. Let's focus in on this. But you can see right there, right at the base of the blade, there is a 4116. That's a German steel, and it's a pretty good entry-level steel. It's slightly above entry-level, if you ask me, my personal opinion of it. It's a good steel for good knives. A lot of German knives have this steel, and Ganzo got their hands on that and decided to put that on this knife. They've used this 4116 before. If you check out their G714 knives, they've got a tanto and a clip point of that knife. Two different blade version of that knife, and it's got the same steel, and I've got those. I still haven't done a review on those, have I? Oh, wow. And, I found that steel to be good. And what do we got? We've got, basically a hollow grind on all 3 of these different spots here. This actually, let me rephrase that. On the clip point, it's definitely a hollow grind. On these other 2, it looks more like a flat grind, but it's such a short grind line that it's really hard to tell. Oh yeah, put it up like that. What's it look like? Star Wars. The blades. Boy, oh boy, I'm distracting myself way too much. We need to go over the sizes for this knife because I know some of you are curious. This clip point here, I'm talking about the size of the blade from this sharpener's choil to the tip. It's 2 1/8 inches, which is 5.3 centimeters. The spay here and the sheep's foot here both have blades, cutting edges, I should say, that are the same length. The cutting edge is 1.5 inches, which is 3.7 centimeters. The length of the knife when it's closed is 3 3/8 inches, which is 8.5 centimeters. And let me close it here safely. The thickness of the knife this way is just over 1/2 inch. And the weight of the knife is 54 grams, which is 1.9 ounces. So not very heavy. It's a great little pocket dropper. Outer blade is this clip point. This is the blade that would get used for most tasks. It's the sharpest blade in the bunch. Look how nice and clean that edge is. That line just cuts really, really well. Just about anywhere where you want to cut it. It's also the blade that's got the logos on it. So you've got that Firebird logo. You've got the steel branding on it. Nice hollow grind. Nice sharp tip. So, you can dig out splinters if you need to. Do whatever you need to get done with your knife at the end of the day. It's very sharp. If you do the nail nick test, it just grabs and it won't slide. Very sharp from the factory. German 4116 steel is a steel that's easy to make quite sharp. It does need regular stropping, regular maintenance, because it will lose its edge fairly easily. But as easily as it loses its edge, it's just as easy to get the edge back. So it's not a bad steel. Comes to a really nice tip there. I like this clip point. The sheep's foot here means that you're not going to get any hot spots in your hand when you're holding it and using this blade. You have to remember it is a slip joint, so you have to be careful when you're cutting. I like that they put almost a centimeter of space here, 3/8 of an inch, where you can get your finger right in there so that it's not going to close onto your hand very easily. So it's easy to hold this knife up close and use it. If it came sharp right to the handle, it'd be a little harder and you'd have an easier time of having it slip on you and cut yourself. So that's a design feature there that instead of getting upset, why didn't they sharpen it all the way to the end? That's a good thing that they didn't sharpen it all the way to the end. So the clip point's a really nice blade. And the middle blade here, this sheepfoot, or Warncliffe, is a really good blade for doing some of that fine cutting and holding in this kind of grip. And so you can use it for, this kind of cutting. And, whatever the material is, it'll work really good for that kind of slicing kind of cut. And, it cuts quite cleanly, no problems at all. Let's try some other materials to let you see how well this knife cuts. Here's a piece of wood, and so you can use it. You put your thumb back there, and you can use it for doing some whittling and creating whatever you need to create at your campsite. And you can do a lot of really fine cutting with these blades. Whatever you want to do. Even that little spay, not splay, there's no L. You get your thumb behind there and you can cut, and you can make the equivalent of some really small curls if you're trying to make a oops, I shot that across the room. If you want to make a little fire and you want to create some curls, some wood curls, so it cuts wood really well. No problem with this little kind of grind. And you can dig in wood, if you need to create a hole. Of course, what I've got here is a piece of fat wood, so it's not really the kind of wood that you'd be digging a little hole in, but, just to demonstrate a little bit. Works really well. Whew, that's a pungent aroma and very sticky on the blade. I'm going to have to clean that off pretty good. So it works really good for that kind of stuff. If you need to cut some cordage, got some paracord here. Here's 4 strands of paracord all lined up, and let's see what happens. Zips right through that stuff, no problem. And as you can see clearly, it is a full paracord. So there's nothing wrong with how this knife cuts. It's a nice small knife. But this is the kind of knife that's a good knife to give to a young lad for his first knife. Teach him how to be safe with it. Or better yet, his very first knife is best off to be a knife that's of this kind of sheep's foot style, because it's a knife that's safe from stabbing. That's a whole different video, whole different issue. But a Wharncliffe or sheep's foot is a good learning knife for somebody to begin to learn how to use a knife safely. How about the fit and finish on this thing? Check it out. Look at that. I'm going to get that to focus in back here. Look at the fit and finish on here. Everything lines up really well. They did a great job. The cutout that they did in this wood for this brass plate, the nameplate, there's no big spaces there. There's no, voids. Looks really nice. The pins all are nicely driven into the wood, and there's no chip out anywhere. The wood's been sanded very smoothly. It feels really good. The grain looks nice. The buffing on these brass bolsters is really good. No problem there at all. It came nice and clean on the inside. And it's easy to clean out if you do get, after working with this knife, you open up all these blades, and it's really easy to get in there with a cotton swab and clean that out. Really well made. Let's close these one at a time. It's a wee knife that we like. Ganzo, I don't know what inspired you to make a knife like this, but I'd like to encourage you to make some more. You've done a really good job with this, and I wouldn't mind seeing some more traditional style knives from you, maybe a little bit bigger. So guys, what do you think of this knife? If you have any questions, comments, if you like this video, regardless of if you like the knife or not, if you like this video, please click on like down in the corner. If you know somebody who's interested in this kind of knife, click on share down in that corner. And if you're not yet a subscriber, please subscribe. And once you subscribe, please also click on the little bell icon that's beside the subscribe, and click on the notification, the checkbox, so that you'll be notified of every single video. That way YouTube will not delete your subscription. Lately, YouTube has been deleting people's subscriptions. I don't know. They've got random reasons. I don't know what the reasons are for it, but if you click that bell that you want to get notifications for every single video, then your subscription will not be deleted by YouTube. And you will see every notification for a video that comes out. Thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate it. And stay safe. Remember, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb.